production androids activated now.
The tape is rolling, the red orb is glowing.
Hello YouTube, Spaceman here. I'm enjoying one of my favorite blends in my London Air, and that blend would be Sutliff Chocolate Supreme, which I just ordered some. I just received an order of from Pipes and Cigars at the beginning of this month. Anyway, this particular pipe, the London Air, my London Air, as you can see, it's like a chocolatey brown color. I only smoke and have only ever smoked chocolates in this, chocolate aromatics in this pipe. It's totally dedicated to that. I didn't pay that much for it. It wasn't a very expensive pipe, but it actually smokes really good. It's not a bad pipe at all. As you can see, that's beautiful tobacco there, flake. It smells like the I don't know if you remember the Nestle Quick. Everybody does, right? Everybody had Nestle Quick in the can when they were a kid, and that's what it smells like. Can of Nestle Quick. It's a really good smell to it. That's the only thing I can compare it to. Whatever it is, it's a very good chocolate. Very good chocolate, and very nice looking tobacco indeed. Get a look at it there. It sells in bulk at Pipes and Cigars. I would have to look up the price. I can't remember. Could have been $2.50, $3. I don't know. Anyhow, definitely was a repeat order for me. Definitely one of my favorites. But it's a nice, relaxing smoke, and I was gonna get into a little story tonight, and the story goes back to my childhood living up in New Jersey. Quite an interesting area. I lived in the southern part of New Jersey, just outside the Pine Barrens, not in the heart of the Pine Lands, but just outside the Pine Lands, still part of the Pine Lands, actually just on the outskirts of the Pine Lands, I want to say. Some people say it's, it is the Pine Barrens, and there's a lot of forest there, forestry that have the 500 or so year old scrub pines, and but it was odd town. The name of the town was Vineland, New Jersey. And if you ever look up Weird New Jersey magazine or Weird New Jersey, the book, you'll find there's a lot of strange things about that town. But as a child, I had a happy childhood there. And I was just reflecting back upon different things in my childhood and the summers I used to spend, and what they were really like as a child. I was a child. I was a little boy in the late '60s. I was a toddler in the late '60s. I was born in 1964, so by 1969 I was 5 years old, and I remember quite a bit about the '60s, living there. A lot of things were different. But in the '70s, that's what I mainly want to, focus on tonight, is the '70s. Growing up in the early '70s, I thought was great because the music was the best, to me anyway. We had the best music, and we had a great childhood. I mean, our parents would let us out in the morning during the summer, or if they were working, maybe somebody be there, and the older brother or something watching us. But things were a lot different. I mean, we would go out into the neighborhood. We'd go anywhere we want. We'd get on our bicycles. We would ride wherever we want. We didn't have to worry about anything, any of these crazy things that are going on now in the world. I remember this one particular day when, this was around 1975 or 74, somewhere around there, and we were riding our bikes down the main road, which was, you had to go down our side street and down the main. It was, the name of the road was Main Road, and I remember coming up on this building that sold wholesale meats and stuff, and these guys were up at the top of the building working, construction workers, and I remember them like saying, hey, you guys, come here, hey, listen, if we give you some money, will you go down to the store and get us, some sandwiches and some sodas or whatever it was, and I remember them telling us what they were going to get, what they wanted us to get, and they said, we can trust you now, right? You're not going to run off with the money. And no, we didn't. We went off and we got them what they wanted, and we brought it back to them, and they were very happy. And I remember them letting us keep some of the money because of that. But I remember growing up as a child in the early '70s too, especially, and this was mainly like it was a country area of New Jersey. It was a lot of farmland. Vineland was mostly known for eggs and chicken, poultry, and stuff like that, farming. And I remember early in the morning, where I lived, there was a farmer right next door to me who farmed land on his property, and he farmed land behind our property too. And I would be woken up at 7:30 in the morning by some kind of rototiller or some kind of tractor, and I thought it was really kind of cool. It was kind of neat, waking up that way. And my nephew would come over and spend the day, or he'd spend the night, and we'd get up and we'd go outside. I'd get woken up that way. It was kind of cool. And so anyway, he would farm the land behind our house, and even on the other side of our house, behind the neighbor's house, which was just to the east side. But I remember this one particular day. Now he had a huge pepper patch right behind our house. And I remember this one day, these two Italian ladies that lived next door to me, well, her sister came over, and she went back there with her kids, and she just like helped herself to all the peppers she wanted. I mean, she just went through there, just picking peppers and throwing them in bushels. I mean, I guess the guy had told her, if you want a couple things here or there, you'll feel free to go back there. He used to tell us that because he'd farm our land. So he'd give us, the carte blanche to go back and get some vegetables once in a while, but not. This lady went back and she just went berserk and just went through the whole patch, and she just cleaned up this pepper. I mean, these were nice big peppers ready for the farmer's market, the auction. And I'll never forget when he went out there. And he went out there the next day, and he seen them pepper patch cleaned out. he started cussing. I mean, you could hear this guy all the way up to our house through our kitchen window. I mean, he was just really every cuss word in the book, man. And he was upset. But I never forget that story. And I also remember in the early mornings, especially, they had these crop dusters. They had these biplanes, the old biplanes from World War II, if you remember those. You know, the wing on the top and the wing on the bottom. And they got the two seats in them for two different people to sit, one behind the other. I don't know if these had the double seats or not, but they would come through and you could hear them in the morning just swooping down and just going right over the crops and just spraying the crops. And I'd be sitting, you know, out front of my house looking down the street and seeing this plane go down. I always wanted to get down there and watch this thing up close and never really got to. It was just so cool. I was so fascinated with it that I wanted to do that. I wanted to fly an airplane and dust the crops. And funny thing for a kid, you know, to want to do something like that when he grows up. But they called this guy Moby Dick. Or they called the airplane Moby Dick. Or whatever it was. But it was just really cool. But then at night, you had the mosquito sprayers. You know, we'd be playing outside and you could hear them coming. Like, oh, here they come. It'd be, you know, this thing on top of the truck, sound like an air conditioner. I don't know what it was, a generator. We'd be coming down the road and we'd stand in the driveway and we'd wait till the mosquito sprayer got like right there and the dust was just racing up the driveway really fast, and we just start running in the house before it got up to us. We actually didn't want to be, you know, caught in it. But a lot of cool memories as a child growing up there, and memories of, you know, the beach, going to Wildwood. And I miss that. And I live down south now. I live in Florida now, and been reflecting on that place. It's not like I want to go back there. But because my mother's gone now. She passed away a couple years ago. My father, we live here and he's 98. But it would never be the same if I went back there. It'd be just too many memories. I lived there for 50 years. And but anyway, just thought I'd share a couple stories with you growing up there. Oh, and the fireflies, the lightning. We call them lightning bugs. I mean, they were cool. They'd come out like in the early evening, the yellow firefly, the lightning bugs. I haven't seen them in like 2 years because I haven't been up there in the summertime. It's really cool too. And Japanese beetles. We used to go out in the summer, you know, in the morning, and we would catch all these things off the flowers, like the Japanese beetles, and we'd catch bumblebees in the jar and everything like that. And just a lot of fun growing up. Playing in the neighborhood with all the kids growing up. But anyway, just reflecting on all this, and it was interesting. I thought I might want to share that with anybody out there, with all you guys. But anyway, maybe in another video I'll share a little bit more of those memories. I'm going to sit here and enjoy this bowl of Sutliff Chocolate Supreme, which I really like. Very good, tasty, aromatic. Anyway, happy pipe smoking. And I shall see you on the other side of the next video.
Fed a whole tribe with a fishing bed. I called him a commie and left him for dead. Planted a flower in Chicago. Damned if a mother-loving flower would grow. Ain't that a way to make a wheel go, boy? Ain't that a way to make a wheel?